DC, it's been a while. I got a ton of stuff. I'm just going to blow through it as fast as I can because it's just too much stuff. Since the last time I posted, which was a while ago. Update on the Kermis record cleaning machine. Very happy with it. I feel like it does make the record sound better. Something just kind of opens up a little bit when you put it through. That could be in my imagination, but it really seems to happen again and again. So, very happy with it. So, highly recommended for an ultrasonic cleaning machine. It's a good price. You're not going to get any better. All right, what do I got? Tears for Fears, Seeds of Love. Always liked this song when it came out, but I never got into Tears for Fears too much. Listened to side one of this so far. Haven't listened to the whole thing. You may know about it. There's a heavy Beatles influence on this. So psychedelic period maybe. Beatles influence, but other stuff in it too, because they have a lot of influences. I think a lot of different. I think that's making it too simplistic. There's a lot of soul influences too, but so far really good. This was a big one, obviously, the Coltrane album, the Lost album. Picked that up, still in the wrap. And you've probably heard about this if you haven't heard it already. If you're interested, you probably heard it already. It's a fascinating listen just to have an album like this right in the heart of that great period. It's clearly not. I don't know if you could see maybe why it wasn't released. It probably would have been, refined a little bit more. Maybe you might have had another shot at a couple of these tunes, but it is really fascinating. I mean, it's essential because you're really talking about what is this? I can't remember if it's 63. I mean, it's really in the heart of when he's exploding creatively. So there's a lot of great stuff on it. It's a fascinating listen. It is in mono, but that's the dealio with that. This is Dobie Gray's Hate Dixie, which got some decent reviews, and I like his other album, the big one. That would drift away on it, but this one I listened to once and didn't get into it too much, so I'm going to have to give this another chance. The soundtrack from Butch Cassidy, which is very short, but really good. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but the back rack music is just good in it. Got a couple of these. I don't know if there's another one in there. FB 12 inches of Elvis, who I'm going to see in November, and I hope he's doing well. I haven't heard anything. There haven't been any announcements since his surgery, his cancer surgery. So, obviously wish the best for him. He's one of my favorites ever. So, I'm sort of trying to keep an eye on that. But also, we're supposed to see him in November. He's coming near us, and I've seen him a few times, and it's always great. So, I'm really looking forward to that. And hopefully he's back on track health-wise. This is Every Day I Write the Book with Heathen Town and Nighttime on it. Very cool. Very cool. This was interesting. The live adventures of Mike Bloomfield and Al Cooper. Very much an artifact of the 60s. They do some neat covers on here. The 59th Street Bridge song. The Wait. Dear Mr. Fantasy. And it's good. It's really good. I think it's one of those where you just want to be, with the beads, you just want to be put back into that time period. A live album from that period, and it puts you there. That's at the Fillmore. Another one of the Elvis 12 inches. This is London's Brilliant Parade, which maybe the best song off that Brutal Youth album. It's up there. It's a great song. And congratulations, he actually does the. I heard this. I'm like, wait a minute, I know this. It's the Paul Simon song. Congratulations. He does a different take on it, but it's pretty neat. And sort of another take on. It's called London's Brilliant. Finally got this, which is the UK version, UK track list. By the way, we're listening to Ravel, Daphnis and Chloe, in case you're curious. Hopefully I won't get kicked off YouTube for that. Anyway, love The Clash. My band does a lot of the Clash songs. I mean, they are big for us. And this is a great. I just really like this lineup, too. The other one's great, too. It's hard to sort of compare. I'm trying to think of what's different on here, but I can't remember right off the top of my head. But anyway, very glad to get that. Here's another one. I've been looking for original copy. I probably could have found one on Discogs. I don't know why I haven't hunted it down. And I did get this, this isn't after she passed away. So sadly, actually got this, probably a couple months ago or a month or so ago. But, one of her best albums of that period. I have most of the other ones, but this is in mono. It's a reissue. But these Atlantic reissues, I think, are really, really good from my experience. So, I don't know how they do them, but in general, the ones that I've gotten have been really good. So obviously, this has got Respect on it, and I'm trying to think what other one was real big. Dr. Feelgood, Do Right Woman, Do Right Man. Change's Gonna Come. I mean, it's just amazing. This is I believe, a Blue Note reissue, probably from the 70s or 80s. Probably the 80s. Stanley Turrentine album, really, really good. And it is called Ain't No Way. And sounds pretty decent for a reissue. It's on the Blue Note label. So I figured I'd pick it up. I like Stanley Turrentine, and it's very good. This one I didn't get too into. I thought I was going to really like a Ventures album. I mean, that's nice, but I got to listen to this a little bit more. You got to be in the right mood, I think, to put this kind of stuff on. At least I do. But it's got all the big hits on it. Walk Don't Run, Rebel Rouser, they got Pipeline, they do Wipeout. So, we'll give it some more listens. Found this one, Van de Graaff Generator. The least we can do is wave to each other. Found this in Montreal, on a trip to Montreal, and it's it's pure Van de Graaff. Let's put it that way. Really good. Pharaoh Annie by John Redbourne, English folk dude. This was really good. This was a really good album. I have some other John Redbourne, and I've been sort of wishy-washy on it, but I think of the ones I have, this is probably the best that I've heard. Very, just obviously very acoustic based. When you say folky and English folky, it's a different kind of thing if you don't know, but if you're into Fairport Convention and, Bert Jansch especially, you will probably like this. Here's one I didn't really know about. It's been sitting in front of me this whole time at the record store. I decided to get it. This is a Genesis sort of EP, Spot the Pigeon, from, I think, the Wind and Wuthering days. And it's great. I mean, I love Genesis, so and that's a period that I really love of Genesis. Um, so this was a great pickup. I never heard this stuff before. It was like new Genesis from 1977. Great stuff. Here's a really great album. Kate and Ann McGarrigle, Dancer with the Bruised Knees. Um, just really, again, it's just like a different thing. Sometimes you find these albums and it's like, whoa, this is just just a slightly different take on songwriting, and it's really fascinating to listen to and beautiful, really. The great song in here is Southern Boys, I think. Oh, wow, Richard Davis is on bass. I did not know that. It is just a sort of, just go out, if you haven't heard Southern Boys by Kate and Ann McGarrigle, go go download it or play it on YouTube or something and give it a listen. It's still relevant, let's put it that way. Hey, produced by Joe Boyd. Very cool. Who I got to talk to. I had an interview with Joe Boyd. Should post that online. Talked about the Nick Drake album he did, the tribute album, and other stuff. UK's Danger Money. This was really good too. I had the other UK album, and I've sort of been off and on with it. But then I started getting into it a little bit more, and I figured I'd pick this up, and this is really good too. So if you like that sort of late '70s prog, that's probably they're probably at the peak of late '70s prog. Now, speaking of early prog, this is although this is a later album, this is Procol's Ninth. I've been slowly gathering all the Procol Harum albums because I really love Procol Harum. This one was okay. Not the greatest, but again, didn't listen to it too much, but Lieber and Stoller produced this. Is that crazy? But hope I listen a little bit more. I just like their style. I like most of the stuff they do. This is one of the new Blue Notes that I picked up. Reissues Black Fire by Andrew Hill. Also got this in Montreal, and I love Andrew Hill. This is great, sort of out there, but not too out there piano, which is just the sweet spot for me. Jazz piano, and again, Richard Davis on bass. Of course, the guy who played on Astra Weeks, which is a absolutely top 5 album for me. This is Andrew Pratt, and I have not listened to this that much, but I got another Andrew Pratt album somewhere. That's the reason I picked that up, because I really liked the other one. It was very, I think AllMusic said it was ahead of its time. It definitely is ahead of its time. It's from like 1970. I got it in here somewhere, if I come across it. I needed a new copy of Best of Bread, because mine was in crap shape, so I picked one up. It's one of those albums, side 1 is amazing, side 2 you don't even have to really listen to, as far as I'm concerned. Ian Hunter, this was really good. I've gotten more and more into, and Mick Ronson on here, I've gotten more and more into Mott the Hoople, and I'm going to explore a little more Ian Hunter, because I didn't realize I liked him so much. Here's another sort of proggish band. And I didn't listen to this much either, but this is Man, Back into the Future. Cool cover. Sort of inner thing there, and you almost want to buy it for that. I have one of their other albums, but this was decent. I can't remember. I think maybe a little bit more fleshed out or spread out, but they have live stuff on here. I can't remember what it is. It's a live album and a studio album, or I'm mixing up with something else. I don't know. Anyway, obviously it didn't make the greatest impression on me. So this was really cool. Lowell George. Again, I want to spend a little more time with it, but another one band I'm getting into recently, Little Feat, and This is Lowell George solo album. Sounds great. It's great, very well produced album, and an engineered album, and good songs. And he's just great. He's a great singer. Well, well, well. What do we have here? This is the new McCartney album, and I gotta say, I mean, he just keeps doing it. I don't know how he does it, but this is totally different from New. Um, every album, he goes in a slightly different direction. It's kind of amazing at his age, but these are good songs. Period. Done. Ended. Um, very much recommended. If you're a McCartney fan, if you're